Hello, welcome back to my channel. So we're going to talk about Daonte and Nicolle. So at the end of last episode, Daonte was trying to get some after they all went out drinking, and Nicolle told him that he wasn't going to get none until he got her boobs done. So this episode, he has Nicolle come over to visit his mom, and Daonte thinks that his mom is going to like Nicolle, and Nicolle keeps trying to act like she's excited, but you can tell she ain't excited to meet his mom. And Nicolle says since she's been out of prison, her and Daonte have spent every waking minute together, but she's still not ready to give him the kitty cat because she still says she feels uncomfortable. And she tries to tell Daonte she ain't had none in over 4 years, when in reality she was just hooked up with a girl 1 week before she got out of prison. So Nicolle was saying that she wants this to go real fast. She wants Daonte's mom to come eat and go home. And she says if Daonte's mom don't like her, she ain't coming to meet her again. And then while she's helping Daonte prep for his mom's arrival, she pulls out these forms and told Daonte she has something she wants to talk to him about. And it was about her boob job she wanted. And she said it's normally $8,000, but the doctor said he would do it for $6,000. So since she's saving $2,000, she was trying to urge Daonte to jump on that deal. And Daonte, he just bought all these watches, all this other stuff, bought her a new iPhone that he's paying monthly for, gave her $1,000. So he's like, that's expensive. I don't have the money for it right now. And she's like, come on, I'm pretty upset because you got me all excited because you told me you were going to do this and make this happen no matter what. And so Daonte said, well, either I gotta not pay my rent, not pay my bills, whatever I gotta do to make that happen, I'm willing to do. And so Nicolle was like, really, babe? And he's like, yep. And I just think that's like, I would feel guilty asking for that much, especially asking someone not to pay their bills so you can get a boob job, like putting your wants over your needs, like putting someone else's wants over your basic needs. I think that is just so selfish of her. But Daonte assured her that no matter what, he was gonna make it happy, so she was all happy. Nicolle said she forgot it was Tia's birthday and she had to go call Tia and wish her a happy birthday, so she snuck into Daonte's guest room. And before she ran out to the guest room, Daonte was like, Tia, isn't that the one that you dated and hooked up with in prison? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, well, I don't feel comfortable with you still communicating with her. And she's like, well, she's my friend, Daonte. And Daonte made a good point. He's like, if I was still talking to my exes, she would be throwing a fit. And Daonte said out of all nights Nicolle's choosing to do this, she's doing this the night that she's supposed to meet his mom. And then so when she's in the guest room trying to call Tia and tell her happy birthday, Daonte's waiting in the doorway and she's like, come on, give me 5 minutes, please. She's like, he's like, this is my house. That's the phone that I pay for. And you're going to sit here and disrespect me? And she's like, come on, just give me 5 minutes. So he walks off. So she's talking to Tia. Tia says she don't feel good. So Nicolle says, well, hey, I'm trying to come take care of you. Plus, I ain't trying to meet Daonte's mom, so come get me. Meanwhile, Daonte's in the kitchen cooking, and he's listening to everything she's saying. And then, when she steps down, she sees Nicolle Jr., his little toy, underneath his bed. And she's like, oh my gosh, he is so disgusting. And so Daonte heard her talking about how disgusting he was. So he comes in, he's like, what are you talking about? Why are you talking bad about me in my house? And she's like, what is this? Acting all shocked. But she already knew about Nicolle Jr. She said it was weird. And she's like, this is disgusting. You said you were going to get rid of it. And Nicolle was like, don't try to turn this around on me. We're talking about you. And Daonte was like, you are not about to sit up in my house making a joke about me talking to your ex that you effed in prison. So Daonte called her out. He's like, I heard everything you were saying on the phone. You were telling her to come get you when you're supposed to be meeting my mom. And Nicolle straight lied to his face and said she only said those things after she found his sex doll. And she's like, it's not even a life-size doll. And Daonte told her if she's only here for what she can get out of it, then to give her phone back and give back everything that he's given her and to kick rocks pretty much. So Nicolle said she didn't want to fight no more, and Daonte's like, what are we going to do to fix this? And she said, I don't know. And he's like, well, I just wanted us to work out and do whatever I can to make you happy. And he just said again to producers he doesn't appreciate her talking to her ex and talking about him. And she should appreciate the fact that he has Nicolle Jr. and he's not out there seeking other women. So then the mama shows up for dinner, and she says that Nicolle is just another blonde stripper type, and that's the type that Daonte likes to go for. So Nicolle was trying to be all cool, calm, collective, and Daonte's mom was just eyeing her down, and Nicolle thinks that Daonte's mom was thinking, like, I don't know who this girl is, but I know she ain't good enough for my son. But I think really Daonte's mom, she can smell the BS a mile away. So Nicolle tries to tell Daonte's mom that she don't have nothing to worry about. She loves her son and she ain't going nowhere. And Daonte's mom, she's like, okay, you love my son. Why do you love my son? She's like, because he's a gentleman. And she looked like she was trying to pull real hard in her brain to find the words to tell Daonte's mom, because you could tell that she was just lying in the house. So Daonte's mom's just explaining that she just wants the best for her son. So Daonte pipes in and he says, you know what, I love this woman. I want this woman to be the mother of your grandkids. I want this to be your daughter-in-law. And Daonte's mom was just looking like that, just rolling her eyes. And Daonte told his mom that if he can't accept Nicolle, then she can't accept him. So Daonte's mama told him that he ain't about to come at her like that. And Nicolle said that, you know, I feel like a lot of your fears you have come from the fact that I came from prison, and Daonte's last relationship with this girl named Chelsea who used him, and to the fact where he had to move back in with his mama. And Nicolle said, I know I was in prison and I have a lot of similarities to Chelsea, and I've asked your son for money, but I haven't even asked your son for half the crazy things that she's asked him for. And I really wish Daonte didn't tell her all the things that he did for his ex Chelsea, because Nicolle was probably like, oh man, I found me a good guy to use, and just realized if she can get all this, and I probably can too, because she says she hasn't asked for half the crazy stuff. But we seen the receipts when Daonte bought her a watch, and she's like, actually, can you buy me two? And she was just asking for way too much and asking for a car fresh out of prison. And so Daonte's mom called her out and said, okay, if you love my son, and when women are locked up for 4 years, the first thing they want to do is get out and make love to their partner. If you love my son so much, then why don't you want to be intimate with my son? And she's like, I just have a problem. I haven't had anybody touch me in 4 years, which we all know that's total BS. And Daonte's mom called it like it is, and she's like, you know what? I don't think you have a problem with intimacy. I think you have a problem being intimate with my son. And she hit the nail right on the head with that one. So Mama checked Nicolle and she said, stop the bus, and called Nicolle out on her BS. And I'm glad that she did. She's just looking out for the best interest of her son. She loves her son. She wants the best for her son and wants her son to be happy. And she knows Nicolle ain't it. So she sat there and said that a woman like Nicolle is only going to be around for materialistic things. And she said, of course Nicolle's telling me she's in it for the long haul, but I would too if I could get whatever I wanted. So Daonte's mom said, you ain't been intimate with your man in 4 years. You know, she was just calling out her BS. And she just kept trying to talk Nicolle, and Daonte's mom kept cutting her off. She didn't want to hear her lies because she knew it was just all lies coming out of her mouth. And Daonte's mom said, look, he's got a freaking sex doll. And so Nicolle kind of smiled, and then Daonte and Nicolle leave. And Daonte told Nicolle, I think mom's kind of liked you. And Nicolle just rolled her eyes because she knew Daonte's mom didn't like her. And then Daonte tells Nicolle he thinks they're ready for the next step because they've met each other's families. And so they think he's ready for them to start staying together and move in together. But she hasn't even put out yet. Every time she comes over, she stays in the guest room. So I don't think you guys are ready to be living with each other. And Nicolle kept rolling her eyes. And Nicolle said that the dinner with Daonte's mom was freaking rough, but she did it because she loves Daonte. And so Nicolle said when she was in prison, she could not wait to get out and have sex. But she said that the way Daonte makes all these comments about it, he makes it all uncomfortable and awkward, she claims, and she feels pressured. So Daonte drops Nicolle off, And when he's dropping her off at her mom's house, every time he drops her off, he gets out of his car, opens up her door for her, walks her to the porch, makes sure she gets in, and then leaves. And she's like, okay, my mom, she got mad last time when you keep coming to the door to drop me off because the dogs start barking. So I need you to wait in the car and just drop me off. Don't get out and walk to the porch. And Daonte's like, what? I always walk you to the porch. She's like, my mom's getting mad and tired of the dogs barking. It wakes her up. Don't do it. So Daonte, he didn't really want to, but he ended up just sitting there letting her get out and drove off. But then he started having second thoughts when he drove off and felt like something was off. So he decided to pull to the end of the street and pull over and just kind of hide out of sight and wait to see if someone was pulling up, because not only did Nicolle get out alone, but when she got out, she just went on her porch and was sitting in front of her house smoking a cigarette like she was waiting for somebody else. So Daonte was sitting there waiting in his car, and like less than 5 minutes later, a car rolls up and Nicolle starts walking to the car and gets in the car. So Daonte flips around real quick and pulls up, and then it stops, and I guess we're gonna have to see what happens next week. I'm guessing from what we've seen in the spoilers of the season that that's probably gonna end up being Tia, and that's probably gonna be the scene where we see Daonte throwing out the Bluetooth speaker and all the stuff that she has in his trunk saying, take all your ish back. So I'm guessing that's what that scene's gonna be, and he's probably gonna finally meet Tia. And my guess is when he comes and sees Tia and Nicolle together, Nicole's gonna take Tia's side all the way. She's gonna like abandon ship on Daonte real quick. But that's it for this video. And Daonte ended up making a video, and I ended up posting part of it on my YouTube channel, and ended up apologizing to his mother for the way he treated her at dinner. And I think, Daonte, you need to listen to your mama, because your mom, she knows what she's talking about. Your mom is very woke, and she can smell BS a mile away, and I like his mama. But that's it for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts about Nicolle and Daonte in the last episode, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.